How's it going there, true believers? It is I, Shane, and I'm here to give you another review for Agatha All Along. It's episode 8. Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this one. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. Feel free, hit it, whatever you donate. I deeply appreciate you guys. It will be going towards the channel. I guarantee it. So, hey, I feel like I just saw you guys. Look, last episode, best episode, Lilia episode, super sad. We follow up with this with Jen breaking down crying because once the door closed and it was the Iron Maiden they went through and they're trying to touch it. Oh no. It becomes solid dirt and everything else. It's kind of interesting when they were going through those tunnels, there was like a yellow pulse. It's that underground area was, there's so many hints through here, but I can't talk about it until I get to the end of this part here. So why should we give a damn about Agatha? Like, you know, we get the early episodes where it's like, oh man, her son is obviously she misses her son, and then is Teen, who is actually Billy, is he her son? And I kept saying, am I supposed to care? She's constantly disrespecting Mrs. Davis Sharon, constantly disrespecting her, constantly being literally just a prick, and I don't want to hear about defense mechanisms, especially when I get into the last episode review. I don't want to hear about none of that crap. I don't want to hear about defense mechanisms and blah blah blah. Sometimes there are just bad people, and Agatha Harkness seems to be one of those. Because then when she scurries on up to the top like a rat, we have Rio. Rio appears, and Rio appeared after she had taken Alice to the other side. You know, we see Alice getting up and everything's all green and ethereal, and it's still that stupid ass treehouse of horrors. And Rio's there, she's like, you ready to go? She's like, go where? And she points to her dried up husk of a body. She's like, you know, no, I'm not ready to go. That's all the time I get. You know, Rio starts laughing. You know, if I had a nickel, yeah, I'm not gonna say the word yet until I get to 5 minutes. But yeah, MF, of course everyone's gonna say that shit, right? You know, this can't be the end. It should be the beginning. She finally broke the curse. I can do something with my life now. And Rio goes, well, you're a protection witch, right? You die protecting someone. You know, she's crying. You ready? And she's like, no. But she calls her over, and I'm like, this is pretty fucked up, especially and yeah, I did the F word already, but getting to the last episode, getting to the last episode really hammers home how messed up all of this is. But in a way, I don't know, it's kind of weird because Rio seems like comforting. But at the same time, you know, I want my body. It's like, does death enjoy death? Or is death like, you know, this is the balance of all things. Like when she talks with homegirl Agatha, you know, reason why she's like, oh, you were hiding him from me, which it may appear that Lilia was hiding Billy from her because she's like, he's an abomination. You know, he cheated death technically, and what he wants to do is also an abomination. And you know, get Agatha going, what, trying to bring his brother back? Like, that's borderline a waste of the road's time, which makes you wonder when you get to the last episode. I hope I'm just gonna put a little notes for my last notes. Waste of road's time, because that's one I definitely need to talk about. And she makes her a deal. She says, you can't take him because he has to surrender himself to her, right? And so she says, I'll give him to do it, but in exchange when I die, You leave me alone. And Rio's like, Agatha, you will eventually die. And she's saying to her, no, like when I'm gone, years and years from now, when I go, I don't ever want to see your face. And it's like, so when she dies, she doesn't want her to come for her, or just wants her to like meander, her spirit to meander. Maybe that is what she wanted. When we get to the end of this episode, maybe that is what she wanted. But that's kind of where that deal, because she says, all right, deal. And starting from this moment, she's going to leave. I tell you about how interesting it was that she left. It's fascinating, and I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't put two and two together. But let's finish talking about their conversation. You know, she, besides the banter of, you know, your bodies are piling up like you promised, and I can't tell if Agatha was crying, or it's weird. And you know, I know how you feel about him. This walk with another woman's son on the road that doesn't, and she goes, don't. And I'm sitting like, don't what? We do quickly find out, don't, but some of these magic people are way too dramatic for me, and I'll explain in a moment. No one in history has had special treatment like you. You call what you did special treatment? And I'm like, yeah, if Agatha Harkness can't die until it's her time to die, yeah, jackass, it was special treatment. Actually, when we get into that last episode, it was definitely special treatment. And it makes no sense on why this here, I don't know if this is a flaw of the character or if this is a flaw in the writing, but that whole statement here makes no sense once you get to the next episode. And I'm pretty happy that I didn't have to wait. You know, this 8 and 9 were done together, and I'm glad they didn't make anybody else wait, because it's either A, lackluster, or B, showing how dramatic and stupid and over the top Agatha is. Probably all these things in one. But yeah, you gave me nothing, you took, and she's like, well, yeah, that's your move, right? Booyah. It's actually very true. I'm team Rio, by the way. I'm team death on this, by the by. And so when Rio leaves, she goes to the background, and I'm like, man, that background look kind of weird. Takes out her knife and literally just cuts it and walks through. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Is that part of her magic to just appear? Is that what she's doing? Because it just looks like paper. Okay. Oh, okay. Eventually, Jen and what's our boy called? Jen and Billy get up here, and you know, Agatha's all like, let's go. And again, those two are like, we have no Earth Witch. You know, Agatha's like, well, Jen, potions and stuff, it's close to earthy stuff, right? Let's just go. When they start moving, Agatha trips over her own shoes. They have gone in a massive deadly circle. And she's like, well, let's just run it again. And Jen's like, I barely survived that the first time. I can't do that again. Which is interesting that they went in a massive circle, because remember when Alice was like, I ain't going that way, I'm going the opposite way, and then it's still there. So you went forward, back. You're doing the Charlie Brown, whatever. And we see the shoes, and Jen is crying over the shoes, because you see Sharon's, Alice, and Lilia's, and dead men's shoes. And Billy's putting on his boots. He's like, no, we took them off as a sign of respect for the road. I don't respect the road. And then when they all put their shoes on, now they're in a morgue. They're coming out of body bags, and they're in I guess it's supposed to be a morgue, but there's grow lights above them. And Agatha's like, this reminds me of my basement. So they're in a vaguely basement area. And the biggest thing we get out of this, we get Jen calm down and thinking, Agatha's comment was, I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be mean or just racist or just mean, because she's saying, you're quiet. Usually you're panicking loudly or you're something loudly, talking loudly or whatever. And I'm just like, interesting that you would say that to this character, but okay. And I want to make sure. My basement, give or take. Jen's trying to figure something out. The blue lights are obviously the timer. And seems like, no, she said the doctor in Boston didn't take anything from me. I gave it up, and then I wasted a century. And she's, panicking because they're about to die. There's no way out of here. Even with the steps up, there's no way out. And teen Billy, can't believe I'm still calling that, saying that she doesn't need magic. And if you think about it, she's a great character. They've done a lot of good with Jen. Like, you've had this black woman character who's had something taken away from her when she's done no harm to anybody, and she's been able to do magic without magic. Like, she saved most of them with that first trial they went through, and she's been super duper helpful, even able still to do a little broom flying thing with, I guess that's a different type of, analog magic or whatever. And Agatha has this face, and she didn't know she passed through Boston. It turns out Agatha was doing bounding spell work, she's claiming that so she wouldn't get burned, or whether it's either do this or get burned. And go back. So she pulls Agatha's hair, and she does this. She's doing this unbinding ritual, keep saying, you don't have any power over me. And it's very interesting. I saw a couple of social media posts about this, how this black woman character is taking back her power and undoing something that this evil white lady, who's, by the way, taunting her and goading her while she's doing this, full knowledge that she did this to her. She's taking back her power from this woman who has literally, indirectly, inadvertently, but still ruined her life for over a century. But when she does that, her power is pink. She got the little pinky pink in her hands, and she's sobbing, and it is a deep sob. And Teen is happy. He's about to drink. She gone. She vanished. And Agatha tells him she got what she wanted from the road, so she's gone. And then tells him to sit down, and is talking him through his abilities, telling him to look for Tommy. He's looking around, he doesn't have a body, and she's like, well, let's find him one. And looking through different kids, and there's a kid who's getting bullied, and the kids are going to drown him. And he can tell the kid doesn't have any family, doesn't have any friends. He's like, wait, I'm guiding Tommy to the body. He's like, but am I killing this boy so that my brother can live? And by the time he says that, he's gone too. And of course, Agatha gets out, because in her little brooch was a dandelion seed, and part of the thing was, you got to grow something, and the lights are going out, and her little little drip drop, and it grows something. And she gets out, and she's all dirty. She gets out of literally crawls out of the dirt of her backyard. Interesting indeed. And she's like, I want my prize. Well, here's Rio up top, cackling, thunder and lightning. All of Westview can see what's going on, and they're like, oh, hell no, not again. And Rio is attacking Agatha, even though Agatha is doing salt and Latin and saying dispel this evil. And Rio's pissed. She's like, why don't, she's like, wait, I need to say exactly, because this is a lover's quarrel. Boop. Nope. Whisper, cries, lights on, don't care. I got the kid out as we agreed. She was supposed to give the kid to her. And she's like, expel this evil. You're calling me evil. I am the natural order of things, baby, and you love me. Now, one of the things I do, she did call her a coward, and she hit the deck. I wish Lilia had not given her that warning, because Agatha deserved to have a kitchen sink thrown at her. I do like that Jen I think it was Jen and Lilia, I think it's over the span of these 2 episodes, said Rio did not lie about who she was. When they first met her, she said she is the green witch. And green magic deals with, the cycle, growth, death, decay, all of that. That is the green. And the green is actually from DC Comics with Swamp Thing. So I don't know if they're going to change the Nexus for Man-Thing to be the green, because DC Comics has not done the green in their in their cinematic universe. I hope you don't do that. That is not cool. But yes indeed. So fighting, and then out of the sky comes Billy dressed in his comic accurate outfit. He's Wiccan. They're fighting death, and she wanted power, and he's like, I don't trust to give you any because you're gonna kill me. He's like, look, don't take all of it. And she's just getting it, and she's loving the juice, and and she frees him. I'm surprised. And so they're trying to fight death. I do love the fact that Rio was like, what, death by 1,000 cuts? That, yeah, she is definitely a woman scorn. Boy, oh boy. Bit about Nikki makes no sense. I'm going to explain that in episode 9. But yeah, and Agatha's like, we can't fight her. I'll fight her, blah, blah, blah. And Billy says, well, no, I'll do it. And she's like, all right, cool. Hey, you heard him. He's going to turn himself in. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm blah, 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 blah. Evil. She's evil. When you're done, put some petunias in the backyard. Just sells just straight up evil. And then Billy talks in her mind, and goes, is this how Nikki died? So she runs up to death, tongue kisses her. I guess she's absorbing her power, starts glowing green, falls to the ground, rapidly decays. Like her boots are curling over, and she turns into the little purple azalea petunias, whatever the hell she's talking about. And you see her little skull, she dead. And I do like that. Again, I mentioned last episode with the effects on Death's face, Rio's face is cool as hell. You see when the thunder flash, we get the skull face. When she turns and looks at Billy, telling him, you may go, because she says, I'm taking one of the other. She took Agatha. And I like that she's talking to him in his mind. She isn't talking out loud in his mind. You can go. She wraps herself up. She leaves. He gets in the car, and all of Westview is just like, can y'all please leave us alone? And then we find out something, y'all. We find out. And Rio looks really sad, by the way. Rio looks kind of, sad that, her love for centuries and centuries is dead, but that ain't the problem here. We see everything in Billy's room. His parents were worried. You were gone for 24 hours. Oh, I'm here. Blah, blah, blah. In his room, all the same colored leaves that were on the road. Lorna Wu's tape right there. You have all of the things, the Ouija board, the Wizard of Oz stuff, everything we saw in the ending that was witch stuff, that was in his room. And he goes, it was me. It was Beery all along. And at the end of this, we hear a ghostly cackle, and he's like, obviously it's Agatha. It is Agatha. Agatha is a freaking ghost. But Billy made the road. Even with all that, this episode gets a 4 out of 5. I have issues with the last episode, but this is a 4 out of 5. Everything about this that was amazing was not just because of John Locke's acting, but Samantha Zashir, like just the Jinn stuff, the death stuff, really, really good. I feel totally vindicated in not liking Agatha Harkness, because remember, repeatedly I said, are we supposed to feel bad for her? Well, when I get to episode 9 review, I'm going to fully say no. But as of this episode, this is episode 5, which feels like an actual ending. It's a 4 out of 5. It's above average because of the acting, but just the way she kind of went out, I don't know. Well, we got stuff to talk about in episode 9. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right. And if you want to support me further, the Patreon link is in the description below. It's hard to keep some of this stuff in because I got some thoughts. As always, guys, thank you for showing up. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Please be good, be blessed, be safe out there. Drink some water, be good to others, be good to yourself. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. Remember, you can reach out to somebody. You know, there are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I promise you that. And as always, my social media is in the description below. Send me a message, say hi. I will say it back. We got one more. And it's a doozy. So until next time, true believers, I'll see you in a minute. Excelsior.